Hello, baseball fans. This is Ernie Hartwell. Welcome to Stubby Overmire Field. Stubby Overmire's real name was Frank. He was a native of Moll, Michigan, outstanding graduate of Lee High School, and then attended Western Michigan University. Stubby pitched for the Detroit Tigers in the 1945 World Series. The Tigers won that series from the Chicago Cubs. A left-hander, Overmire broke into the major leagues with Detroit and pitched for the Tigers from 1943 till 1952. He later pitched for the Yankees and the St. Louis Browns. When his playing days were over, he served as a coach for the Tigers from 1952 until his death in 1977. Enjoy your time here at Stubby Overmire Field.
Search my soul, make me brand new, break me down, build me up, make me more like you. Guard my heart, guard the words I speak, lead me far from temptation, give me strength when in my flesh I'm weak. Let your word wash over me.
Welcome to WKTV Sports. We're coming to you today from Wyoming Lee High School for the 9th annual Stubby Overmire Baseball Card and Collection Show. I'm Mike Moll. Ray Peuler, our longtime WKTV announcer, will be joining us in a little bit. We'll be visiting with some of the vendors that are here, as well as a pair of Cy Young Award winners of 1964, Dean Chance, then of the California Angels, and in 1968, baseball's last 30-game winner for the Detroit Tigers, Denny Mclain. As I said, we'll be wandering around talking with a few of the vendors today, so we hope you enjoy the show. We're going to start off with our WKTV sports director here, Paul Kabelman. Good morning, partner. How you doing today?
Good, Mikey. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Good to see you. How's it going so far? Good crowd to start with, at least.
Yeah, not too bad. It was sure cold enough this morning when we got here, though.
Oh, I can believe that. That's good old West Michigan this winter. But Dean Chance, a new name coming in with us today. We've had Denny for multiple years in the past, but Dean's coming in. Do you have some of his stuff with you today?
Honestly, I don't.
You don't?
No, there are no Dean Chance cards for the Tigers as far as I know.
Oh, okay. He was only with them that 1 year. I believe it was 1971, if I'm not mistaken. And 11 years altogether. But hopefully it'll be a good day, but looking forward to it as always.
You bet. It's good to see people out here today, despite the weather.
Absolutely so. So as we said, we'll be coming to you for the day. We hope you enjoy the program.
Give me the courage to boldly speak the truth, unafraid of what this world might do. Create in me a joy to do your will. Jesus, let my heart be still. Let my heart be still.
Well, we've got our longtime partner at WKTV here, familiar face for everybody that's watched our sports programs over the many, many years, Ray Peuler. Ray, welcome this morning. Great to see you.
Well, it's always good to see the crew here again. They've been such a help over the years. You don't put on programs at sporting events and everything without a good crew. Cameramen, producers, everybody. It's a fun time. You really have a good time doing it. You ask any of the crew, they enjoy it.
Yes.
It's fun. So.
Absolutely is. How's the health doing? Last time I saw you, it was a little shaky, but you're looking real good today.
Yeah, well, I just finished cardiac rehab with my wife. My wife had triple bypass in November. She's doing fine, but we did cardiac rehab together, and so we're doing fine.
Good.
We kind of stayed home this winter and hibernated.
I don't blame you. It's been a good winter to do that. I had to ask that because I have to tell you, almost every sports stadium that we go to, especially for basketball, somebody is always asking me about how Ray is doing. So we had to let everybody know. So that will put a lot of people at ease.
Doing fine, and looking forward to more retirement years, hopefully. And I'm pushing 80 years old now, and this time, it was time for me to turn things over to younger people, a little more energetic than I was. But I enjoyed all the years we did it. It was so much fun, and it met so many good people, coaches and players and administrators. And the young people in this community are just great, and they're wonderful, and they've got good leadership. And right in this school here, the superintendent's great, the coaching staffs and everything. The smallest school district in the area, but yet one of the best around. And it's wonderful. And I always had the philosophy when doing the sporting events, you never criticize the player who makes a mistake.
Yep.
Everybody makes mistakes. I do at my age, and they're teenagers.
Sure.
So, but it's been fun, and God has blessed us a lot.
Absolutely so. I've always been curious, when did you start doing sporting events with WKTV?
Well, the first one was right here, right in the corner over here. We interviewed Terry Rice, who was a basketball coach then. That was, probably 35 years ago. I don't remember really, but it was a long time ago. And then we did the basketball. I think we only had one camera.
Okay.
And it's in the bench over there where you still do, but it was fun, and that was the start of it. And then we kept doing basketball, and then we added football.
Okay.
And I had some really good people work with me. And football was Lowe Perry. He was he was the football coach at Godwin for years in Wayland. Just a good insight. And then Mike Bogart in basketball, and Carl Paganelli helped me, and just had good people to work with. I knew the game. I could call the game, but I didn't have the knowledge of the game, coaching that they did, and they were very helpful. So it was a fun time.
Good. Yeah, those are some very familiar names of the Grand Rapids area over the course of many, many years from that point. So absolutely so. Well, it's always good to see you, Ray. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it, and it's a pleasure just being able to sit next to you one more time. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for all the fans out there. I appreciate it. God bless you.
Well, we're here again now with one of the vendors. Tom, how you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing outstanding. Thanks for asking.
That's good. It's always a pleasure to get with you here. We see you in the same spot year after year. You just kind of have it cemented here. Have you been here for every one of them?
I have been here for every one of them. I try to take care of Ty and his promotions of this, so he lets me have carte blanche and have the front row.
There you go, and you got the best view. We just had Denny Mclain and Dean Chance both show up here. They're starting to sign back behind Gary. What do you have today that's real special? I know you usually have something hidden down here that you just like to talk about. What would that be today?
What I have today is right over here is a 1950s George Kell Louisville Slugger bat with the decal that came right from Louisville Slugger. And this is really unique. I've only seen one of these.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Old Black Betty style there, so.
How did you come up with that?
I found it in Galesburg, Michigan at an antique shop. I flipped my lid on that and whipped my money out as quick as I could to pick that one up.
That is great. Well, we got Dean Chance here for the first time, joining Denny. Do you have any of his stuff down here for people to look at?
I have a nice pile of Dean Chance cards here, a pile of rookies, the 64s, the Cy Young year.
Yep.
So just about every year you could desire down there for people that don't have a card of Dino to have signed.
There you go. Sounds like a great day to me. We appreciate you coming out, Tom, as always. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Dances out on the sidewalk with the music music box from the shelf. Passers-by think she's a little bit strange, but no, she's just enjoying herself. Christina lives with her mother, 2 houses down from me. She's the best part of our neighborhood, and her smile's always the first smile I see. When Christina smiles, she
Back here with Grace Groendyke and Erika Leon, 2 of the daughters from Dennis Groendyke here at Wyoming Lee. They've been coming here out every single year for this. It's the 9th one that you've been here, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And same with you, Erika?
Yes.
All right. What does event such as this mean to you as a daughter of Dennis, who's such a big part of this?
Yeah, it's something we look forward to every year, get real excited about. Ty Emelander, I know, he prepares for it. As soon as this one's done, he'll be preparing for the next one. So it's a big event here. Every year it grows. A lot of the same people coming back, love it, happy to be here. So it means a lot. It's something that's really important and close to our heart.
Yep, absolutely. You both are graduates of Wyoming Lee, is that correct or not yet?
No, I'm a senior this year.
Senior this year. What are you looking at doing in the future?
Psychology probably.
Okay. Do you play the sports or anything at this point here or not?
Yeah, I played volleyball and I play softball.
Okay, excellent. And how about you, Erika? I know you said you graduated. What are you doing now?
Working. A mom, a wife,
Okay.
have her own place, so just been working and staying pretty busy with a little kid running around.
We've got one of them here this morning. We've been getting on film already. I know that from that point of view. I was just hearing your dad talk. He said you've got something special coming up with your mom coming. What's that all about?
We're just talking about how, I haven't played softball, but I'm really excited about coaching or assisting my mom in coaching at Pioneer Park, the Little League around the corner from here. So I'm going to be helping her coach Little League.
Okay.
I'm excited about that. I've played since I was 4 or 5 years old, but never coached. So
All right, good deal. Our volunteer Doug Hansen will probably be seeing you. I know he has a lot to do with Pioneer Park from that point of view. Your future plans, college, or what are you looking at from that point of view?
Yeah, I'll probably go to college and go into psychology, hopefully. Yeah.
Okay, do you know where or anything, or is that still kind of up in the air?
It's still up in the air. Not sure yet.
What does an event such as this mean? We got Erika's point of view. What have you seen over the course of the years with it?
Well, I just like how everybody comes together as a family to get all the work done and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a huge thing here. We hear that every year from many volunteers, and when we come over to Wyoming Lee to cover events, you can certainly tell. I mean, the results on the field or the court may not be what everybody is expecting, but the family atmosphere is just tremendous, and we just certainly thank both of you young ladies for being a part of it. We thank your dad, and we thank Ty Emelander for it. So thank you. Appreciate the time very much. Best of luck in the future, and same to you.
These have all got minimums on it.
Right.
I just did this whole deal.
Just put it back in the box and I'll talk to you.
Hi, Gary.
But now it's way overdue. This is for you and no one else. This is for you, can't you tell? I can't thank you enough for giving me everything. You'll be there for me all the time, no matter what happens in my life.
Welcome back. Mike Moll here again with Devin and Don Slocum. How you doing this morning? Good. It's good. Father-daughter, I remember from last year when we had the opportunity to talk with you. How many shows do you do now? Is this still one of the few, or is this about it?
Well, we do quite a few. Right, Dad? About 2, 3 years.
Yeah, I think we've done 4 in the last, 7 months maybe.
Okay. So enough to keep busy during the winter months anyway from that point of view. How's it going so far? We've got a real good crowd coming around today.
Yeah, very good crowd today so far. Yeah, we've done pretty good so far.
Good, that's great. Anything special that you've got sitting out there that you want to talk about or anything just to have viewers see?
No, it's all there. I mean, the Gordy Howe, everybody knows Gordy around here, so
yep, absolutely.
Got that shirt right there autographed by Gordy, but that's about it. So
okay, Grand Rapids Griffin shirt there. That's great. That's a good looking shirt. Well, we certainly appreciate the time with us today and hope all things go well this afternoon and have a good show. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oh, we got one of our long-term WKTV volunteers here. Oh, back this way, Phil. We snuck up on you. Yeah, absolutely. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
That's good. Glad to see you out here this morning.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. You've been here quite a few times for this, haven't you?
Yeah, last year I missed, though.
Yep.
Because my wife's in the hospital.
Yep, absolutely. But you're doing good. Come out on a nice, cold, wintry morning to see what you can help out with, as always. Phil has done almost anything and everything over the years at the station. We certainly appreciate all the time he puts in.
All right, I enjoy it.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you for it. Good to see you as always.
Hey.
Got no ties here that bind me. I lost my job 6 months ago.
Well, we're real happy to have another sportsman with us here today at Lee School, Dean Chance. He's been in the major leagues for over 10 years and been retired now, but started out in Worcester, Ohio, high school, and had a pretty good athletic career there.
Yeah, a lot like this. Well, actually smaller. It's a farming community. 50 miles south of Cleveland, 90 miles north of Columbus.
But you're known for baseball, but actually you had a pretty good basketball team there too. You won state championship.
Yeah, right? I'm in the state basketball Hall of Fame. Jerry Lucas. It's the only game they lost was the senior year. We was down there in '58. We won the state. Not in Henry, we were A. He was double A.
Well, you had a great baseball career in high school too. A lot of 51-1, something like that.
The competition wasn't too tough.
Huh? But it's a number of no-hitters, like 20 in your career, and a number each year, doing pretty good. But you had a real unusual delivery. You had one of these times, you were the one guy who turned your back to the hitters and then swung around and threw the fastball.
Yeah, they always said you had to watch the catcher's glove to get the, and I could get it to him without keeping an eye on it full time.
And it probably was harder for the hitters to pick up the ball. Would you do that too?
It was. A lot of the left-hand hitters, I remember Duke Sims said once, the ball, he never seen it. He never picked it up.
Then you were drafted into by the Washington Senators and then traded, right?
I was I was with the Orioles.
Oh yes, Baltimore.
And then Washington and the Angels came into the league. And I never knew about Washington, but I guess they actually drafted me. And they were short outfielders, so the Angels traded one of their outfielders for me. But I was in the expansion draft.
Yeah, that's when they expanded the league.
So I mean, I thought the Angels drafted me.
And you was with the Washington Senators and different teams throughout.
Well, I was never with Washington.
No, you didn't play for them. But
They
you
drafted me, and I get traded, I guess, the same day. I never knew this till after I retired. Somebody brought it up to me.
But the Baltimore paid you $30,000 to sign.
That was a lot of money in them days.
And gave you a $12 bus ticket.
$12 bus ticket to Bluefield, West Virginia.
That's where that was. I wondered where Bluefield was. And
it's right there on the Virginia, West Virginia line.
Well, you had one of the best ERAs in the majors with a less than 3 for, your career.
Yeah, I think I'm 11th.
And
the other day, somebody for pitch over 2,100.
And you're the youngest man.
But you knew who had the lowest ERA for under, with over 2,000 innings, Ray?
Who's that?
You'll never guess it.
No, I don't know.
Nobody will. It was a relief knuckleballer named Hoyt Wilhelm.
Oh, I remember him.
2.52.
I remember him.
And then Whitey Ford was second and Koufax was third. Then I think Gibson, Marichal, Tom Seaver, Andy Messerschmidt, Jim Palmer, some old guy named Dutch Leonard.
That's familiar names.
But anyway, and then I was 11.
Well,
and 12th is Pedro Martinez.
I go back many years in baseball. In 1945, I started listening to the Tigers on radio. Harry Heilman was the announcer back then, and he'd be in the studio taking the game off the ticker tape. It sounded, because he didn't travel with the team.
The guy that signed me with the Orioles that year, everybody up here should be familiar with. His name was Hal Newhouse.
Yes.
He lived in Pontiac, Michigan.
Yeah.
But Hal was a scout for the Orioles, and him and Harry Dalton signed me.
Yeah, and then what is the difference between you played for the Mets in the National League and American League? What was the difference?
Well,
everybody thinks the strike zone is different, is it?
Well, they always claim the National League, they give you the lower pitch, but the Indians had me in 1970. They paid me $55,000 for the whole year. With 2.5 weeks to go left in the season, they sold me to the Mets for $150,000. And then the next year, I called Billy, and that's when I finished up with Detroit in '71.
Who was managing you?
Billy Martin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you was the youngest pitcher to win the Cy Young Award.
Yeah, at the time. I think, I'm not sure, but I think that either Dwight Gooden or maybe Fernando. No, I was 22 and turned 23 that summer.
Well, you had 11 seasons. I got the stats here. 406 games pitched with 128 wins and 2.92 ERA.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I led the league in ERA, that year. I mean, led the league in innings pitched and only give up 7 home runs, in 64. But Dodger Stadium was a pitcher's ballpark. We won 5 Cy Young Awards in a row out there.
Yeah, I remember reading about that.
Drysdale, Koufax, and then I won, and then Koufax.
Yeah, 5 years in a row.
5 years in a row.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Well, it was the reason, the park.
What was the difference?
Well, it was a big park.
Big?
It was a pitcher's park, yeah. At night, it was really tough to hit a home run out of it.
The mound was higher too in those days,
The
wasn't
mound was beautiful. I mean, real nice and high there, Dodgers. They had a ground-up clay that was unreal.
Well, after you retired from baseball, you got an interesting profession too.
I had a friend of mine that had a poster company, had Farrah Fawcett, was his big national. But anyway, with him, I got in the amusement business. I used to play the Detroit State Fair. there on Woodward. And this guy used to have the fair, was a guy named Wade Shows. He owned the carnival. And he always told me, he was a real nice guy, I should have came. He played a town, and I went through it coming up here. Allegan. I guess they have a great fair in Allegan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to it, but that's what I thought of. So, and I remember we used to play Iona, Michigan.
Iona Fair,
And I
Berlin
played
Fair.
Muskingum one time in the spring. Because I think it's when Magic Johnson was a senior in college, or they Michigan. They won the NCAA because they had an all-star game up there that time.
But you had quite a few employees in that business.
Oh, unbelievable.
And what all different games? And
yeah, the posters was our feature game, and then we got into the milk can where you lift the ball up, and the toys. Those were our main games. And then the one with like a ring on, lift the bottle up, and then set it.
It's interesting.
Those were our feature games.
So what are you doing now? You retired completely?
I do as little as possible, whatever I can afford.
Well, we appreciate your coming here and being with us. This is a
Denny Mclain's a special person and a good friend, and that's why I'm up here, because of Denny.
Well, Denny's been here for 9 years in a row now.
Well, you keep him.
He's just been really great for this school and
well, I mean,
baseball program.
The only man ever to win 31 games.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then the next season, I think he won 29 or 28, something like that. 60 games in 2 years.
I think he pitched 661 innings.
It's
unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Ray, you take care. And
good luck.
All right. Same to you.
All right. We'll be back in a few minutes.
There's no mail in the mailbox. There's no late night and miss you calls. There's no flowers on the door.
Well, we're here with Amanda Emelander, a freshman at Spring Arbor University this year. She graduated from Wyoming Lee last year, had an amazing high school career in softball. And I know you're getting ready to make your spring trip down to Florida this next week, I believe.
Yes, on Thursday.
Absolutely. And you'll be pitching as well as possibly infield from what I'm understanding. Mm-hmm. And a little bit of a change from high school, but your dad was bragging up a little bit that he got the last ball that you hit on your 5th consecutive home run. That is an amazing feat.
Yeah.
That is one that everything was just working that day, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know, like it was a really weird day. I don't want to sound cocky, but I knew I was going to hit a home run when I went up there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So
it is fun when you're in that zone, if you will. I mean, you see it with basketball shooters, but as you walk up to the plate, just having that confidence, that's great. Absolutely so. Well, we understand that for the first time in a long time, you don't have number 17 in college, though.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Sometimes we have a whole bunch of gear and stuff, and I'll see number 11, and I was like, whose is that? And I was like, oh, that's mine. And I'll grab number 17 stuff sometimes, and I'm just like, I do miss it. It's weird how
I bet it is. I bet it is. You've had that, I think your dad said, since I was little. I was going to say.
It was probably 7 or 8, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
8 or 9.
Wow. Well, it's great to see you back at this. I know this event means so much to so many here. Mm-hmm. What can you touch on it, having been an athlete here, to see what this all brings into the community and to the school?
It's just a great event. It raises a good amount of money for our baseball team, and it's nice to see the baseball players working hard and coming here and showing that they actually do care. And it's nice to see that every year there's a new person coming into it. Yep. Like Dean Chance is here this year, and next year I'm sure there'll be somebody else here, and it's just great. And it's 9 years of this now.
Yes, exactly.
And it's just, and it seems like it's the same as it was the first year. It hasn't lost anything, and it's amazing.
Yep. Yeah, there's a very good crowd out there today. One of the best I've seen. This is my 4th year being here, and this is by far one of the bigger crowds I've seen out there. So,
yeah.
Without a doubt. Weather even cooperated a little bit, cold but not snowy or anything. Yeah. So, well, I greatly appreciate the time that you spent with us. I wish you the best at Spring Arbor. Have a wonderful spring trip, and I hope you get off to a great start down there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we're joined now by Jane Overmire. How are you today, Jane?
Fine, thank you.
That's good. The name, I'm sure, sounds familiar as we're here at the 9th annual Stubby Overmire card show. Her father. From that point of view, I'm sure it's been fun to watch this progress over the course of these 9 years.
I think it's been great, and I think Ty does such a nice job with not only the organization, but he's got such a passion for the game.
Absolutely.
And I'm very pleased that it has been as successful as it has been.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't around here 9 years ago when they did their first one. I don't know if anybody ever dreamt it would turn into what it is, especially looking at the crowd out there today.
I don't think so. I think it was sort of, it was Ty's idea.
Yep.
And he sort of ran with it, and we thought, well, let's give it a go.
Yep.
And it's worked out beautifully, and I'm pleased that they can raise money for the athletics here at Lee High School. I stopped by last night to drop a piece off, and this gym was filled with young kids that were working on football or basketball or baseball, and I can see that they've really built a beautiful athletic program here.
Absolutely. So we've had the opportunity today to talk to a couple of the athletes or former athletes, and everybody says the same thing. It's such a family atmosphere, and everybody just cares about everybody else. It's great from that point of view.
I think so too, and I'm just hoping that this will continue, and that it will continue to generate revenue for the programs here.
Yeah, because in these days, I mean, everybody knows it's tougher and tougher. You don't get the aid that you used to get from other sources to be able to do fundraisers like this. It's huge, and that's how programs are staying in existence.
That's right, and you can even see with the young kids out here today, they're all so enthusiastic about spring training starting, and this sort of just leads us right into the baseball season. So I think it's great.
Yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of that piece, it's a very unique Detroit Tiger chair. I know Gary has had some shots of it earlier, so I'm sure he'll put them on there, but that is a very unique piece. How did you ever come up with one of those?
Well, I had seen one similar to it on the internet a couple of years ago, and I couldn't find, I tried to get, who created that, and I couldn't find a source. And I was driving down Alpine Avenue here in Grand Rapids probably about a year ago, and there was one outside at an antique shop, and I almost had to do a U-turn to get back there. And so I went in and I asked the woman if I could take a picture of it and if they were readily available, and she said, well, we have a source. Well, probably the next time I went by, there weren't any out there. And I thought, oh, cripe, they've sold them all. But I did go in and ask, and she said, no, the gentleman that makes them is very eager. I just had to order one, and so I thought it would be good in the auction. I'm hoping that it does well.
Yep, absolutely.
It was hard to part with. I might have to go back and get a couple more for the house.
Oh, but, I could believe that. I mean, it's such a piece that it would fit if you had anything at all related to the Tigers, and I'm sure you have a couple of things.
I have a couple of things. And as a matter of fact, we live on a lake, a small lake in Rockford, and some neighbors go by. And last year I bought the Old English D. It was a sign. It was a metal sign that you put in the garden.
Okay.
And so I put it right out there because we did a new steps down to the dock. So I put my Old English D out there, and people will go by and they'll wave, Well, then if we lost 4 or 5 games in a row, I'd move it. So then I'd move it over by the tree. And then if we'd win again, people would go by and they'd say, hey, And then we'd lose another, and I'd move it up by the house. And so that began on the lake has been sort of a joke. Or I would take a picture and put it on Facebook. Well, then they had a horrible streak last year. I don't even remember what month it was. And I picked up my sign and I put it down on the fire pit. And I took a picture of it and I said, okay, move the sign again. And so people would respond with, oh no, that's horrible, and then I got it out of the fire pit. So that's been sort of a fun thing to do. But now I'm looking at the chairs, I'm thinking, I might have to put 2 chairs down there by that fire pit,
Exactly, that would be perfect for an evening sitting out there.
Yeah, an evening sitting out there. So I thought it was. I think it's very cleverly done, and
yes.
I think it's quite a nice piece.
Absolutely so. Well, I know Ty and Denny and everybody certainly appreciate the contributions of so many. And Ty was going through the list earlier in the day, and I mean, there are just so many that are involved with this. It's unbelievable as to what it is right now.
I think so too, and I was speaking with someone a while back about baseball, and when I came up through the organization in the 50s, in the 60s, and in the 70s, especially in the 50s and 60s, it was very family-centered because we didn't stay home when Dad went to spring training. We all loaded up the station wagon like a bunch of gypsies and went.
Yeah.
Because what was Mom going to do here?
Sure.
And then when we got down there, Dad got through spring training, and depending on where he was going to be stationed for the summer, then we would go there. And all the families had kids, the other older players, or in the 60s, the coaches, and stuff, they had kids. So all the kids, we always had a motel where there was a pool.
Yep.
So all the kids could be together, and you always went to the ball games.
Absolutely.
Because that's how it was. So I think it's changed a little bit now because it's such a large, it's a huge business.
Yes.
But still, when I came up through, it was really a family-oriented environment, and so people stayed connected.
Yep.
I still get things on Facebook from people I haven't seen for 20 or 30 years,
Sure.
or someone will say, hey, I ran into someone that knew your dad, and you have that feeling of belonging to a family.
Exactly.
And I think that's what the Detroit organization was to me.
Yep.
It's very much a family.
Absolutely. And back then, a lot of the Tiger players were in the organization for years after year after year, whereas now, exactly like what you said, it's a business. Now if I can get something for you, I'm going to send you over there instead. And you don't have that camaraderie that you used to have where somebody would be around for their 15 years in one organization anymore.
Right, or 30 as
Exactly.
probably, as my dad did. And that's true. I think that it's changed so much that the guys do have a chance. If they have a chance to go someplace else and make more money,
Yep.
You can't deny them that. But like I said, we stayed together, and you stayed together for years.
Exactly.
And you'd see the kids year after year after year after year. And so that was, I remember Hoot Evers was a very close friend of my father's, and he was going to leave the Detroit organization to go to, do I have this right, Cleveland? To work in the front office.
Okay.
I'm thinking it was Cleveland. And my father was horrified. He kept saying, oh, you can't leave. Well, Hoot eventually left for a little while, but came back to Detroit.
Yeah.
And that was it. Dad didn't really care how much money he made. That's where he belonged.
Right.
And he stayed.
Yep.
year
Absolutely. The
after year.
dedication from that point of view,
Right.
it says a lot about him right there from that point.
So, like I said, it was very much a family atmosphere.
Yep. Well, that's great. A part of it, I think, is that's part of the issue these days, too. You hear of all of the domestic affairs and all of everything else going on in major, not just baseball, but every major sport right now. And I think that's part of the issue right there, is you don't have that closeness, that tight-knit anymore.
Right, and it seems it's such a distraction, I think, to actually what these individuals are attempting to do. I mean, this is their livelihood, and
Right.
this is their profession. And I think sometimes we get pulled off into the weeds with other things that really have nothing to do with the game.
Exactly.
And I think we need to stay focused on the game.
Yep.
And on these athletes that are doing a fine job with what they're being paid for.
Right.
What they do in their own time, I guess we sort of have to.
Yep. Exactly.
So,
Yep.
So,
and there's so many of those side distractions these days that are more and more easily accessible than what they ever were back in your dad's day. It's harder from that point.
well, some things go on, and you think it's mind blowing. Some of the stuff that you are inundated with that have nothing to do with the athletic event.
Right.
So it's, you know, I think we've gotten too nosy.
Exactly, because that's what the press picks up on.
Yeah.
They don't pick up on the good things, such as what's going on here
Yeah,
today. They
today.
pick up on all the negative, and you know, this player did that, and they blow that one way up. But you don't always hear about the good side of things.
Right, right.
But, well, Jane, we greatly appreciate you taking time with the visit. I know we thank you too for the donation. It's appreciated there, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Where's his signature? His last name is Stein, or his last name? Cobb? Now,
A girl's heart is a fragile thing, always pumping and beating and questioning.
Well, we've got Ty Emelander with us now, the orchestrator of this whole event going on today, the 9th annual one. So far, so good, it seems to be, Ty. How about from your point of view?
Oh, like I was just telling you, I'd be surprised if I can get through this interview without being asked for something, or sometimes I walk from one end of the gym to the other and I get to the other end, I forgot why I was heading that way. So it's been crazy in there. Adding Dean Chance to the lineup is a surprise. I just didn't think him being an angel and a twin player. I can't believe he played briefly for the Tigers.
Right.
I can't believe all the people here to get, and Denny's autograph is just solid. People always are off after Denny's autograph, and
Sure.
Denny's orchestrator of it, really.
Yep.
Denny brought Dean in. I mean, there's items over there Denny's donated. It's crazy what's going on in that other gym right now. It's going to be a very profitable day for Lee baseball and the kids in this community.
Excellent, that's great. And you had an excellent crowd to start with. Even before what Dean and Denny showed up, there were an awful lot of people in there this morning.
Well, the vendors out there tell me that this is the biggest show in West Michigan.
Wow.
And we never, it's gone beyond what I ever thought it would. When I started this 9 years ago, it was just going to be a sports memorabilia auction, and Denny called me up and said he was going to come. And in usual Denny fashion, he goes, I want to come. And I was like, yeah, this ain't even Denny Mclain. I thought some of my friends was playing a prank on me. And then he said, well, give me a date. And I called him up a couple weeks later when I had a date. And I go, you still plan on coming? He goes, I told you I'm coming. And sure enough, since then, Denny's become one of my best friends. Very close to our family.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean,
It's
I understand
touching at times.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's overwhelming.
Well, that's great. I understand your daughter Amanda even has worn number 17 in honor of him ever since, from that point of view.
Well, she wore 17 all the way since she was been 9 years old when she met Denny.
Yep.
I remember one year when she was 10, she pushed between travel ball and summer ball to win 30 games, and it really helped her develop as a player.
Yep.
She wore 17 all the way through high school. She went to college, and there was a girl that had number 17. And Denny actually said, we'll buy that number off her. And I said, no, I didn't want to ask that of Denny. But so right now, Amanda's wearing another number for at least a year. Because I think the girl might be a junior or senior that has it. But I know Amanda's eyeing number 17 at Spring Arbor.
Absolutely. At Spring Arbor, she's getting ready for her first spring. I see online they've got a spring trip coming up to Florida in just a couple weeks.
Yeah, I was hoping to go, but this year with baseball starting March 9th, I got to be fair to my high school boys and be here, because that's what they pay me to do around here, and it's the wrong message to the kids if I miss a few days of practice.
Absolutely. How is that looking as you head into the spring? I know it's early and basketball's just wrapping up.
We're going to be a young team, but I think we got kids that are young and talented, and I think at the beginning of the year, they don't know it yet, but they're going to struggle with the speed of the game and probably the mental part of the game.
Yep.
We try to teach baseball as a science, if you can look at it as a science and not just a competition. It gives you a little bit of a step ahead on your opponent. But with that said, teaching it as a science, there's a little more to it. And we get pretty complicated at times with some of our schemes and our base running plans. And the young guys, sometimes they understand it in practice, but they get in a game and they're just not used to it, and they're like deer in the headlights. So it's going to be an adjustment. It's going to be an adjustment.
Yep. And as always, you're in the OK Silver, where who is usually the powerhouse team?
Calvin is very, very strong. Hopkins is usually pretty good.
Yep.
Kent City's been pretty good at times, but they're no longer in our conference. North Point Christian's really coming on strong.
Yes.
So we've got some good teams. Allendale used to be in it. It seemed like when I had some really good teams here, either Calvin or Allendale, always one year we had a team went to regional finals. We finished a half game out of the conference lead. but that year Allendale went to the state finals. It was just, we've never been able to quite hit that, where they're having a downswing and we're having an upswing. So
There you go. Maybe it'll be coming soon.
I hope so.
As you said, this is your 9th annual. You've got Denny Mclain, you've got Dean Chance. I know you've had Mickey Stanley here in the past.
Yep, we've had Cam Bradfield here before,
Okay.
Rick Kruger, who went to Lee. And actually, we're hoping next year, the 10th year, we want to really make this a special celebration. There's some talks of some things going on that hopefully next year you guys will be meeting some of your heroes of your childhood. So we're working on it right now.
Wonderful. That's great. Well, we mentioned Amanda. She's at Spring Arbor, and I hear she's got a record hanging out there that she was a part of, though.
Amanda, you know, and I don't brag that much to her, but behind her back, I brag. I was pretty happy.
As you should.
Amanda chose to come here from Hudsonville High School. And Hudsonville had great softball programs there. But some of our friends in Hudsonville used to joke with people and say, well, the best pitcher in Hudsonville goes to Lee. And Amanda was really known more as a pitcher up till about her junior year, and she started really working and she worked hard on her hitting.
Yep.
And she became a lot better hitter. And last year, between summer ball and travel ball, she must have hit close to 30 home runs.
Wow.
And she hit 5. Her last game at Lee, it was a doubleheader. In 5 at bats, she hit 5 consecutive home runs.
My goodness.
And the funny part is, the last one, I'm on the baseball field, and I could hear the sound of the bat when she hit it. And I was seeing matter of fact, I remember saying to Karan, one of our players, I said, look, there goes another one. Well, the last one she hit, she actually hit it over there's an electric tower there with a fence around it. She hit it over it, and they come out and look for the ball, and they couldn't find it. And when I left, I rode back there, and I got that ball. I got the final ball, and that was her last game at Lee.
There you go.
So, yeah, we're pretty proud. If you look in the national records, and she actually is tied with another girl that did it in 2004.
That is
But she's tied for the national record.
That is just great. Well, I know you're very busy today, Ty, so we won't keep you any longer. We greatly appreciate it. Congratulations on another year, the very successful year, and thank you very much.
Can I just make sure I thank, and I know I'll forget somebody, but I want to thank even our maintenance staff here, my players for helping set up, the Groendyke family, who I think you're interviewing one of his daughters. They've been awesome to this event. Tom Brooks over there that's waving. He helps me every year set up this event. He's been awesome. And I always do forget somebody, but the WKTV guys, you guys have been great. You're here every year, spend your whole day here. Ray Peuler's coming in and do some interviews. You, Mike. But most of all, remember, the key to this thing, as they used to say about Reggie Jackson, the straw that stirs the drink is Denny Mclain. Denny is amazing. There's a couple rebels I need to mention. Steve Newman Data Service. It's Newman and Associates now. They do taxes. Go to Steve for your taxes. He's the best tax guy in West Michigan. He's donated tons, bought items, given the items back. He's been a godsend. And Kevin Pastoor, 1985 graduate here, who I just missed coaching in 86. We went to state finals and lost 3-2 in 86. Kevin has donated the suite 2 years in a row for the Tiger game, which is, we made $2,000. That's pure profit towards our kids. Yep. Kevin donated that. He also donated some, just today, 4 Lion tickets, really nice $175 tickets to the Raiders game. And people like that, it's amazing to me how this has grown and what it's become, because I got volunteers everywhere here working. Mr. Donovan, our teacher here, he's so loyal to the cause, and he's just a great friend. So I know I forgot somebody, and I'm sorry if I did.
I even see on the table over there you had some things from the former commissioner Bud Selig from Major League Baseball.
They actually used to send us signed autographed balls of the World Series champs. Well, lately we've been just getting Bud Selig balls. No, we don't mind having it from Bud Selig,
exactly,
but
so.
Balls signed by all the Major League champs is awesome. And this guy right here, come here, Mikey. He's one of our 7th graders. He's going to be a pretty good player for us. He's been going around helping all day.
Wonderful.
So I don't want to miss out on anybody. Schaefer's cheese broccoli soup is my meal for the next 2 days.
Well, thank you very much, Ty. We greatly appreciate
Thanks
the time.
again, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We are rebels running on the loose. We don't care if you talk or disapprove of us, 'cause we are young and do whatever we want to. Cops win! There's no
Back here with one of the baseball players from Wyoming, Flo, who is a freshman this year. So just getting started in the baseball program. Looking forward to it, I'm sure, as spring approaches.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A thing like today, where it's a fundraising event that you guys see the benefit of and everything, what does that mean to you as an athlete?
Well, like, it means a lot to me because I like how everybody comes out to support us, and like it helps a lot because, you know, we get this time to like work and help out, and it goes towards our spring trip because, you know, some people can't afford it.
Sure.
Yeah, it really helps me a lot.
Yep, absolutely. I know we talked to Emelander earlier, and he was complimenting all you guys that are out here being a part of this program today and looking forward to the spring season that comes up. What position are you playing?
I play catcher and pitcher.
Okay. Catcher, you're a brave soul.
Yeah.
And pitcher.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think the season's going to be like? I'm understanding you guys are pretty young at this point.
Yeah, I think we're going to do really good this year because we're going to be playing with, it's going to be me, my cousin, and my brother.
Okay.
So, you know, we grew up together. We know how to play together really well.
I was going to say, already have that chemistry going from that point of view. Absolutely. Now, what positions are they playing?
My cousin Pete, he plays pitcher and third base.
Okay.
And my brother plays shortstop and pitcher.
Okay, so you got half the infield right there for you behind the mound. Absolutely. Well, that is great. We appreciate you coming out with us today, the time spending with us, just a little bit, a chance to meet one of the guys that actually benefit from this. It means a lot to Ty. It means a lot to the whole school district and the dedication that you guys show. We thank you for it very much.
Yep.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, once again, we're happy
right after I use the bathroom. Go ahead.
We're happy to have Denny Mclain with us again, and 9th year, I believe, right?
It is.
Been here every
9th
year.
or 10th? How many years is it? 9 or 10? Something like that.
I think 9, but we certainly appreciate your coming every year.
And we appreciate you too, Ray.
Well,
now that you got your own TV show, The Blacklist, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this.
No, the Blacklist. I don't know what you mean by that, but I don't think it's good. So anyway, you know, you and Ty have been friends for a long time, and you come here every year. Boy, I'll tell you, that lineup out there for people to see you and get
it's great.
autographs.
And I'll tell you, I don't believe it's so much the autographs. I really don't anymore. It's because it's a lot of the same people. I bet 50-60% of our audience are the same people. They come back to support a great school. Yeah. They come back to create a great spirit of this school. What I've seen the last 9 years has been incredible, and how the crowds have grown every year, how the kids react to the school. You've got your Hall of Fame here. With former graduates, and the nice thing about it is the guys who have gone to the school come back. I mean, they give some money, they give some time, and there's nothing more worthwhile than that. I mean, helping the kids here today. And you know we live in a tough society today. Yeah. Money is one problem that we all have to deal with every day, but everything else that goes on in everybody's life is very difficult right now, and to see the alumni come out is just terrific.
Well, there's a great history here. My wife graduated from here back in 1954, and Moll, 3 of our children graduated from here.
Wow.
And so there's a long history.
The 3 of them your children too?
Yeah, they were mine too. Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I've only ever known one woman. I don't know.
Well, nobody's perfect, right?
Well, anyway, Denny, what's happening right now? You're doing. We'll get to baseball in a little bit about the Tigers and stuff, but what are you really doing right now? You talking about a website?
I see you're prepared again, huh? You're really on the ball again. Well, you know what? We do a lot of stuff for Major League Baseball. We do about, between what we do and everything else we do for the parks around the country, minor league parks, we do about 240 appearances this year. Oh. And, you know, we're on the road obviously all the time. We enjoy it. We wouldn't do it if we didn't enjoy it. You know, we're not only promoting the game, but promoting other elements of it. We do a lot of stuff in the inner cities now, and it's just fun. I mean, listen, where else can you go and have the friends all over the country that you make in this game? And what better game can you, and what better business can you talk about than the game of baseball on an everyday basis? And there isn't anything nicer that happens to me every day in my life when somebody comes up and says, hey, would you sign this for me? It doesn't get any better than that. Life cannot get any better than that.
And it's important for youth too that they have coaches. You know, I always said kids learn discipline in athletics.
Yes,
if you
I
don't
agree.
want to do it my way, you're not going to play.
Yeah.
And they learn discipline, and that holds through life.
There's a window in sports in general. And if you can take orders, if you can take instruction, and at times it's got to be a little strict and it's got to be a little tough, but if you can do that, you can make a lot of progress, not only in the game you're playing, but in life in general. But you got to listen, you got to want to do things, you got to want to learn. And I suspect half the problem today with some of our younger kids, they think they know it at a much earlier age, and I suppose, and I'm not criticizing technology, I love it. I mean, I just love, you know, getting 13,000 texts a day and things like that. But the bottom line is, it's an education process, but the kids got to listen. There's more in the world than hitting a text, doing an email, and you know, sending crazy pictures to each other.
I was in business and manufacturing for 44 years, and you just you know, you got to have the hands-on people that know how to handle things. And well, we had factories and so and skilled trades and so forth. People don't want to go into that nowadays. They
amazing.
go to college, they come out with big loan balances and can't get a job.
Well, you know, that's a big issue. I manufacture a product, I manufacture pellets. And I got to tell you something, the people who we want to hire are unhireable because they do not want to be in a place for 8 hours a day. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Some of these folks would rather take a government check every week or every month. That's what I don't understand about it. And I'm not criticizing them. Don't misunderstand me. We've developed a significant population in our society today that after 9/11 and when the world hit the fan here, especially in the United States, people learned how to do things in a lesser manner and take advantage of programs that are available that they may or may not qualify for. That's what's happened. And I only hope that one day we get all that straightened out. I don't know how you do it. I don't have any answers, but somebody has to call somebody's attention to it, because when you've got as many people unemployed, and there's jobs out there now, and I mean, and I'm not saying they're going to earn what people earned 30 years ago, 35 years ago, you know, on a per capita scale. But the bottom line is they're out there, and gosh, you got to just get off your butt, either make a phone call or go in person and fill out the app. You'll get a job. Anybody who wants a job, I think you can get a job. May not be the one you want. But you know what? It's a starter, and once somebody sees you, and I've always said one of the nicest things every day, we always meet somebody during a day, like 7 days a week, that brings us an opportunity. Every day it happens to us. Now, you know, 9 out of 10 are you know, somewhere up in the sky, but every once in a while you find a good one. And the bottom line is you got to take advantage of the people around you, take advantage of the people who know more than you do, because Lord knows everybody in this room knows more than I do, and certainly I know they know more than you do.
Well, well, anyway, I lost my chain of thought.
I did.
You do that
doesn't
to
take
me.
much of a chain to get you off track either.
You do that to me all the time, you know. But you know, they're not always going to go smooth. There are bumps in the road.
It's impossible.
And you know, it's like in athletics too. We always had the theory when we did broadcasting: you never criticize a young athlete. They're going to make mistakes. We make mistakes. You know, but you got to overcome it. You got to work over them. You got to
work hard. Listen, I try to explain. I work with a couple of kids who are going to be signed this year, a professional. They're in college right now, and one kid who goes to the University of Illinois. Over the last 9 months, we've improved his velocity, believe it or not, 9 miles an hour, and he's 6'6.5". My God, the kid's got legs from here to the backboard of the gym, and he wasn't using his legs. And my point is, those are the things you have to learn with. Mm-hmm. Those are the issues that someone has to learn how to develop. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to be able to work with these young kids who want to. It's the guys that want. I don't mean to touch your leg, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not the guys that have the great ability. It's the guys who have lesser ability who want to learn more.
Yep.
And they don't realize they've got a shortcoming. But if you work with them, all of a sudden it's like this kid that picked up 8 or 9 miles an hour. The kid is throwing the ball through a wall now. He went from 87 to 94 to 96 consistently. You know, and he's 20 years old. Lord almighty, and I'll tell you, sometime this year the kid's going to get a check for $10 million from somebody.
Well, we always had to have mentors. You're going to have somebody to help you out. I had it in my career where the guy came to me and said, hey, are you willing to go back to college and work now and take a job in the engineering? Yeah. 3 years later, I have my certificate in engineering. You've got to have people like that will lead. And we have to be leaders. We've been through that. We owe something back.
Doesn't cost you anything to give advice. The nice thing about it, when you give it, you like it to be appreciated, and that they learn possibly something. They don't have to learn today. Somewhere down the road, a week, a month, a year from now. And all of a sudden, what goes around comes around, I say, and it will come around again if, in fact, it's not applicable at the moment.
I talk to many young engineers that work for me and so forth, and I'd always say to them, when it's not fun to come to work anymore, find something else.
Yeah, you're right.
Because if they don't like what they're doing, they're not going to do a good job for me either.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if you don't enjoy what you do, listen, you still got to work. I mean, I don't care who you are, and you gotta struggle with that job for a while until you find a better option, a better opportunity. That's what you got to do. You just can't get up and quit, because it also causes problems with the employer you were just with. Now they got to go out and find a guy or 2 or 3, whatever. So I mean, the word that I think we're both trying to find right now is responsibility. I see less responsibility for one's actions today than I've ever seen before, and that's unfortunate. I don't know if it starts in the schools, if it doesn't start in the school, but somewhere along the line we're losing the actual definition of responsibility.
Okay, let's talk baseball.
Okay.
The Tigers.
So you think you know more about that than life, huh?
Well,
let's hope.
Not really. But Brad Osmus' first year, how would you rate it?
C- at best. You can be real critical of him with the way he handled the pitching staff. I just, for a guy who was a catcher and a pretty good catcher, I was kind of taken back that he didn't handle the pitchers better. Maybe he didn't know how less talented his staff was. Maybe he thought he had a bunch of Cy Youngs out there.
Yeah.
You know, listen, they got a real tough road to go. They just got rid of three of their better pitchers. They get rid of Scherzer, who you could have got rid of him anyway, because he only wants to pitch 6 innings if he's got a lead. If he's behind, he wants to stay in the game. The guy's got no balls. I mean, that's the problem with Scherzer. And then the other thing is you get rid of Porcello. You know, he's always going to be a 12, 14 game winner, but that's what he's going to give you every year. And then you've got the other guy, who's the other one we got rid of? Pfister. You know, that kid is the best. He was the best pitcher on our team. He was the best pitcher. Now, he didn't have the best stuff, but he was the best pitcher, and he could do it in 2 hours, 2 hours and 10 minutes. That was the joy of watching him pitch. And to get rid of him at the time they did for what we got back, please. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. And then you got the other guy you can't, I don't think you can give him away right now, is Sanchez, because every year he takes 30 days off with an arm injury or a back injury or a butt injury, whatever it might be. And if this is the staff they're going to start with this year, they're starting trying to go uphill. And the bullpen is another story. Our ace is 40 years old. And you've heard me say this 100 times. Nobody gets better after the age of 30. No. Now, he's had a pretty good, you know, he falls into the group that I call freaks. The Clemens, who pitch longer after 30, the Barry Bonds and guys like that who play deep into their 30s. But there aren't very many of those. And those are the freaks, the Nolan Ryans and guys like that can still bring it at 35, 6, 7, whatever it was. But if you even look at Nolan Ryan's career, he only won 21 times. So we're not talking about a guy that, you know, set the league on fire with wins and losses. But, you know, the whole thing with this ball club is they still don't have a catcher. We talked about it last year. They don't go out and get a catcher. They're going to suffer behind there again, and I don't have to go into the stories about the guy that's catching now. You got a first baseman who's now going to come back again after another injury. And then, of course, you've got some other guys who've been beatered and battered. And I just don't, when you get, I think what they did, to be honest with you, they spent so much money on Verlander, so much money on some of these other guys, that they just started to take a back seat. They weren't aggressive with anybody this winter. Nobody at all. And there's still some guys out there. What's his name? Cliff Lee with Philadelphia is available. There's some other guys out there that can still pitch. And right now, they got Price. And he is the best pitcher in the American League. Bar none. He is the best. If people watch him pitch, you'll realize what I'm saying.
When you talked about pitchers getting older, Verlander's going through that right now. I think.
His problem has been twofold. One, yes, he's gotten older. And number two, his concentration was totally affected last year with Miss Kate. And that's not a bad thing. Falling in love is the most wonderful emotion that any of us have in our life. But you cannot take I love you on the field or 2 hours before you're going to pitch at 7 o'clock. You can't be in a mall buying a new suit or buying diamonds or whatever it is. And that's fine. He's got plenty of money. He can do it all day long. I don't take exception with that. But what I'm saying is if you're going to pitch tomorrow night, you need to get your rest the night before. You need to take care of yourself before you pitch, and you put your act together, because there's no pitcher that ever played this game that didn't plan to pitch the next day when it was his turn to pitch. And unfortunately, between Miss Kate and him losing his fastball a little bit, but what really happened was he lost his concentration. Miss Kate affected his concentration. I'm telling you, that's what it was all about. The biggest question is, will he get it back? Ask Tiger Woods about it. Ask me about it, because when I had my issues, when I hurt my arm for the last time, my concentration was shattered. I was a car crash every time I went out there. You prayed that you'd get somebody out. And I think, God forbid, we're at that point with Justin. I don't believe so. Everybody's telling me how well he's throwing the ball in spring training. Hell, you could throw well in spring training. I don't want to hear this spring training stuff. When the bell rings, I want him to go out there and be Justin Verlander. Now, will he ever be again? He'll never be the Justin Verlander from 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, because he's gotten older and he's going to lose 3, 4 miles an hour on his fastball. And Justin needs to learn how to pitch now, because he just can't rear back, grab the fastball, and get out of an inning. That's not going to happen much anymore.
I think that with Osmus, the preseason predictions for the Tigers, everybody said, oh, they're the best in the Central Division. They're going to win there. And they're the World Series team. And he didn't really know what the talent was.
Right. I don't think, I just thought it was a bad hire. Not that he's a bad guy. I just thought it was a bad hire. A guy not from within the organization or close to the organization, and he wasn't in the American League either. So when you pick a guy like that, that's, I think you're rolling the dice, and they rolled the dice very badly. And then all these rumors are going around now, well, Trammell's sitting there waiting to take his job. They didn't hire Allen to manage. They had no concept of him. They didn't hire Matt Morris to manage. They didn't hire Kirk Gibson to manage. They're trying to do something with that play-by-play team that they've got up there, which has become so boring. I'm sorry to say that, because they've got nobody telling stories and nobody telling us the conditions. Rod is a nice guy. Period. Just a nice guy. But, unless you've played in those intense situations in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, unless you've been in a ball game like Gibson and Morris have, you don't know what it is. You don't know what those stories can bring out and how entertaining they can be. I hope that the guys take charge and aren't afraid to criticize, because it appears to me that the broadcasters today are just afraid to criticize somebody. They're afraid to say something bad. Listen, we're still going to draw 2.5 million to 3 million people. I don't care if you call them poo-poo all day long. You're going to draw 2.5 to 3 million people. So let the fans hear the truth, and that would be a nice, refreshing thing. We haven't had any truth since George Kell was there and K-Line and Northup were there. It's time that we get it again.
Well, they sell out for every game. And they're making big money. And
nothing wrong with big money. You make big money.
Yeah, I do. I've been retired 18 years. My pension hasn't gone up one dime.
Well, it has to go up a little bit, doesn't it?
No.
I got to talk to you. I'll help you.
Hey, what about this number 17 and Amanda? She wanted that jersey, and I understand you tried to help her out with it.
Amanda Emelander is, I think, based upon what I've seen of girls softball around the country, is the best softball player in the country. She doesn't get any high profile because, number one, of the school she goes to, and number two, that Grand Rapids is a low-key community. I mean, they've never really bragged about Amanda. And it's unfortunate, but, the other thing, too, with girls softball, it's great at the ballpark if you're there. You know, it's never been a sport that catches fire on television. That's, you know, it's because they don't have a Barry Bonds, they don't have a Babe Ruth. You know, that's one of the, there's no history there for a girls softball team. And Major League Baseball and baseball in general is all based on stats and history, as we all know. I mean, that's what keeps the game alive during the wintertime. But she is one hell of an athlete. And like last year, she goes into college and she sets a record or ties a record. She has 5 home runs in a row. 5 in a row. This is fast pitch. This is not softball. This is fast pitch. This kid can do things with as a pitcher. I think she's thrown more no-hitters here at this school than anybody ever has in the history of Lee High School. So she's one hell of an athlete. And you know,
and a great young lady.
Oh man, what a great lady! Yeah, she certainly doesn't take after her father. So she's just great. She's just great, and so's the whole family, with the exception of the father.
She takes after her grandpa. That's my friend.
Oh man, what a great guy he is.
Yeah.
He and I started, and you know what? We got him through a period of time there too. Yeah, I mean, he had us all scared because when his wife died, Ty's mother. I mean, we were all really shocked. Scared to death that first of all she went. And then, of course, he got into that state, and I mean, we started calling him. We started, you know, calling him dirty names, and that got his attention.
I think I told you before that he and I started in kindergarten together, and my wife and his wife here at Lee School started together.
Is that right?
Yeah, lifelong friends, and just
so the 2 of you were pedophiles, or just one of you?
So anyway, we got good friends and great people. So.
Oh, great! Just the best. Listen, this town has got the best. This town has got a certain spirit of it, a certain activity, a certain excitement, and just tons of things going on here. It's I come over here a lot, and I enjoy being over here all the time. Plus, we've done some work with the National Guard over here. Those are some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. And in fact, I got a bet going on over there. Next guy, every time they call me sir, I'm getting $1 now from him because boy, oh boy, sir, yes sir, no sir, yes sir, no sir, no sir. So I mean, besides $1 now, I've told him recently, if you keep telling me sir, I'm just going to slap the poop out of you every time you say sir. So they still say it because they got a gun.
Well, Lee School's been getting a little recognition lately. Their superintendent was invited to Washington, D.C. for special conferences and so forth. And so they've been getting a lot of some positive.
And we got some new coaches here now too. So you watch what happens at this show next year. This show will be bigger, and this has been a great show this year. But next year it'll be bigger because we're going to have the other coaches participating and helping Ty put the package together. And we'll have. By the way, we're going to have another Cy Young Award winner here next year with us, and we're not going to name him yet, but we got a tentative commitment already for next year.
Good. Well, Denny, once again.
Did I say Cy Young Award winner?
Yeah.
Cy Young and Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame. Well, okay, that's 2 clues. Got to give another one?
No.
Okay. Thanks,
he's either left-handed or right-handed, though.
Really? Oh, not both.
No.
Oh, I have a son.
He may hit from the right side. No, that's too much. Never mind.
Thanks for being here.
You're very welcome. It's always good to see you. I'm glad I drove you out of retirement to come here.
Okay.
All right? Because I heard the other guy's not very good anyway.
No.
Is the other guy here?
Yeah, he's here. Right
Has he got a gun?
No, he doesn't have a gun, but he's got a pretty good fist.
Does he? Well, Dean.
All right.
Get Dean over here.
Thanks. Be with you. God bless.
You took my sins and all of my sorrows when you gave.
Well, we're here now with Kevin Pastoor, a graduate from Wyoming Lee. Welcome to the program today. We appreciate you coming out. You've been coming to these every year, I'm sure?
I've been to a few of these, but don't make it every year. We live over in the Detroit area.
Oh, okay, so a bit of a trek to get back over for you then.
Yep.
Absolutely. 85 graduate, is that what you said?
Yep, I graduated from Lee High School in 1985. Okay. I was actually the salutatorian of my class.
Wonderful.
Made my parents real happy because my only non-A was a B+ in advanced phys ed because I didn't get dressed every day. So they they weren't really pleased with me.
Minor detail in there,
Exactly.
that's all. Well, I know Ty certainly appreciates you coming back to him. He's made mention of it earlier as well. Your son is here with you today. Ty said he's quite the athlete as well.
Yeah, he's heading off to Transylvania University in Lexington next year to play baseball, and going to be a chemistry major, and we're real proud of him. He got a perfect score on his ACT, 36 on his ACT, so real smart kid. Mom's real smart, so.
I was going to say, it must run in the family.
Mom's
then.
real smart, yeah.
Mom took credit there, huh? Or you're giving Mom credit
Yes.
from that point.
Yep.
What do you do now? What's your life going right now with?
I work for a company called Aon Risk Solutions. We're insurance brokers, so we help large and medium-sized companies place their insurance coverages.
Okay.
And we're fortunate enough to do a lot of work with the Illich family.
Oh, okay.
And because of that, we've got a suite at Comerica Park, and
Wonderful.
I'm able to get that for Ty every year for him to auction off at this event here to help out the baseball program.
That's great. I know he greatly appreciates all of those type of donations from that point of view, very much so. He is, from the point of being an ex-athlete, what do you think an event like this would have meant back in your day if you would have had something like this going on?
Oh gosh, this is great. I mean, just the ability to first of all, I was always shocked when I pull up to see how many people are in the parking lot, what the
absolutely.
draw that this event is.
Yes.
And just to have the ability to to have all these people support the program and raise this kind of money for the baseball program, it's just awesome.
Yep. We hear it from everybody that we talk with. It's such a family atmosphere. Has it always been like that, even back when you were here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing. Like my son goes to Novi High School. He's got over 500 kids in his graduating class. I graduated with 62. He doesn't know everyone in his class. I knew everyone in the whole high school and then some. So it's a different atmosphere, and I loved going to a small school, and he's decided to try that out. He's going to a college with less kids than his high school, so he's going to try out the small school approach too.
There you go. So. Absolutely so. Well, that's wonderful. Well, we greatly appreciate the time today, and as Ty said, he appreciates the donation. It's wonderful, the people and everything that are able to help out like that. So we just thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
As we want to present something to Dean, for coming all the way from Ohio last night, driving in.
Somewhere around there, not bad. Oh, not too bad.
Especially the idea of getting one moment here. We're going to give you a gift. We want you to have. It's a
Tiger uniform or
not a Tiger uniform.
Number 17.
We got you a box of caramel cashews from Koozy's Nut House, which Denny knows about. A Dean Chance and Denny Mclain jersey, or a shirt like we are wearing, and one of our Elite Rebel warm-ups, number 31.
That's when it was.
31 that Dean wore back in 1964 when he won a Cy Young. I just want everybody to know that Dean's here out of the goodness of his heart. We really appreciate it, and I think we should give him a round of applause. We're going to take a real quick second here to interrupt Mr. Mclain, who is like this show. He's like the Reggie Jackson of it, the straw that stirs the drink. Without him, Dean would have never come.
Nor will we come back.
Great friend of the Lee baseball and so many people here, and we just love him to death. We got him also the number 17 Lee Rebel warm up.
All right.
We got him and his wife Sharon, who we love.
All right.
Much or even more than Denny.
Her dad's number.
Luthero number. And we got Denny his favorite treat.
The nuts.
Koozy's cashews. I think he should do commercials for them. And then we got them the Dean Chance and Denny McLean shirts. Sharon also. So anyway, once again, I think Denny deserves some huge applause also. Thank you.
That's great.
Yeah, they should.
Well, that's going to be just about the wrap here from Wyoming Lee High School for the 9th annual Stubby Overmire Baseball Card Show. I want to thank Denny Mclain and Dean Chance for making the trip up here today, as well as my longtime partner and friend here at WKTV, Ray Peuler. All the hard work Doug Hansen and Gary Vandervelde have put into today, and the number of vendors that made the trip out here on this wintry morning here. It's been a great show. Ty Emelander once again came through. Ty, we thank you very much for the efforts and all the interviews that we were able to do through the course of the day. We appreciate everybody's time and contributions to it. Until next time, Mike Moll for Ray Peuler. Take care and have a great day.
That's it.
That
Come
was
on, sit down.
I was going to try to get him to play with that.
That was 213.
Come on.
Come on, you guys sit down. Paul wants to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." I don't do "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Come on.
Ball game sucks. Yeah. You got a lot of people.
What?
I didn't
collected a lot of money to get you to do this.
I believe so.
213. That's a lot coming when they're giving them dollars at a time. 213 a note.
I don't know what I'm supposed to I don't know when I'm supposed to start it.
Start what?
No, start something.
That's enough. Let's do the auction. Come on, play. No. Come on, let's do the auction.
Come on, where's the Hammond X77? Let's go.
The next 77, I'll play.
25, 25, and 25. That's 15, 15, 115, 15, 115, 115, 15. Thank you, sir. 15, and 15, and now 17 and a half, and 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 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 20, now 2 and a half, 22 and a half, and 22 and a half, and now 5, 25, and 25, 25, 7 and a half, 27 and a half is going for good cause, 27 and a half, 27 and a half, and 27 and a half, and 27 and a half, and 27 and a half. Sold $25. Give a round of applause there, ladies and gentlemen. What is the number, sir? Number 16. 16.
Don't tell me love is something you won't try again. That's just not true. But baby, right now, maybe what you need's a friend.
My face is red enough.
So you're in the blacklist now, huh?
Yep.
Every time I hear his name mentioned, I think of you.
Okay, once again, we're happy
Right
to
after I used the band.
talk to Denny for 9
Long,
straight
long-
years.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends. Very close to our family.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I
It's
understand.
touching at times.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was a really weird day. I don't want to sound cocky, but I
No.
knew I was going to hit a home run when I went up there.
No
so,
kidding.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Nobody would ever know that.
Oh, I wanted you to sit first.
In the middle?
Oh.
Yeah, we got to separate.
Oh, okay.
No.
So I put my old English D out there, and people would go by and they'll wave, you know. Well, then if we lost 4 or 5 games in a row, I'd move it. So then I'd move it over by the tree. And then if we...
Okay, you talk about them.
Testing, testing.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
What? I didn't collected a lot of money to get you to do this. 13? That's a lot coming when they're giving them dollars at a time.
Don't get scared when you look through. That's what I look like. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about that. It's just...
You never know.
Just say, who is it? You know, that's
Who's the only guy without an email?
I won't give up. No, I won't give up. I won't give up on you. I will be is running on the loose. We don't care if you talk or disapprove of us, 'cause we are young and do whatever we want to, 'cause there's no rules.
Come win! Holy cow!
God, I think he was.
You think it works now?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does it work good?
Perfect. See, he
Well,
can't.
how
even,
would you know? I'm sitting
He
right
can't
here.
even count to. He can't even count to 10.
I went to Catholic schools. Could count to 25.
All right.
Did you guys ever send me any copies we've done over the years?
I don't have anything to do with that.
Huh? What do you do with the copies? I don't know if I've ever got a copy of anything.
Well, hey.
Well, if you're waiting on Ty,
if-
I mean, I don't think so.
Are you all pretty? Are you ready?
I was just putting up my hair.
Yeah, right?
Well, when you figure out how to get a copy, let me know.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I'll
I
get you
could
a
get
copy.
one too.
You got any money? I'll get you a real good copy. I'll get you a picture
Okay.
with Ty with a goat.
We're here with Devin and Dad. See, I messed him up now. Gary told me exactly who it was, and I messed him up. Don't teach me to be a smart aleck with you.
Yeah, right.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
We'll put that on tape. Want a picture of that. That's what I want.